Hi.
Hello.
Hello. And welcome to another episode of the Gloved Molotov with the Stormy Dragon Tavern.
Suddenly remembered how terrified I am. Cool. Let's keep going.
This is episode 85.
And scene.
It's time to spend a lot of time exploring Katalina's feelings.
No. We have to confront the council first, which is nothing to do with feelings.
Come on, man. Just
Whew,
get it out there. Unpack some
we
shit.
can do both.
You can indeed do both.
Fine.
I'm curious to see both, but we shall be beginning with the council. So, time for me to give everybody a recap as to what happened last time.
I just realized something that's really bad.
What?
Charles was keeping Catalina calm, and he's run off with Locky to talk to an alien.
Yes, he has.
Not a great doctor.
Oh my god.
So if you fail one of those rolls, it could be very, very interesting. Whoops.
Oh my god, she's
And
gonna come
Katalina
across
has
as
the
the...
backpack, right?
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Very interesting.
So, Katalina, Dimitri, and Pim are all going to the council together.
Yes.
So,
Except I don't talk, so...
when last we saw the party, they had made it to Harbona. And boy, oh boy, is it in a state. After 5 years of war, the above-ground city seems to have been shelled a few too many times. So much so that the...
I would like to interrupt. One is too many times.
Correct. The denizens have retreated to an undercity built around the central mine shaft used by the Harbonas to get up and down from their mining operations deep beneath the planet. Fortunately, the forested area near the city is okay. It seems that a lot of care has been given to ensure its safety and longevity. No. Upon their arrival, a very interesting individual has entered the scene. An alien by the name of Jin cobbled together a piece of unusual technology that was just randomly sweeping and scanning people on Harbona. It just so happened, by sheer happenstance, plot convenience, that this scanner happened upon the unique genetic structure of Katalina upon the party's arrival. And so he reached out and said, "You are interesting, we must talk." Dr. Charles and Locky peeled off from the rest of the party and met this alien by the name of Jin, a grey, feeble-looking humanoid whose species seems to have relied heavily on cyberware. A lot of his, which has kind of decayed over time. He seems eager to help and wants to make people's cyberware better. And upon hearing that you have had an encounter with a species of psychic mantis aliens called the Holar on the planet Igelia, was very excited to help you and join you if that meant he could pay them a visit in return. However, while that was going on, Katalina, Dimitri, and Pim were still in the main versatile hangar bay,
With
and
Ani
were
as well.
with Ani, and were going to make their way to the council chambers and have a meeting with the technocratic council of Harbona and talk about everything that they had experienced on Yakuta. So I'll start off by having Katalina and Dimitri roll me perception checks as you trundle over on a mobile platform with machines and vehicles and guns being assembled around you
That's not the
as
right
you head
dice.
towards
Damn it.
the chambers.
Sorry, I forgot. We're playing D&D on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That is cocked.
That is crap. 4.
Perception?
Yes.
8.
Okay. Dimitri, you have been here before, but recently, within a day. But everything's changed since the last time you were here in terms of the configuration. Where things were, they are no longer, and you're just trying to reacquaint yourselves with where things are, what's being worked on, just from your own curiosity.
You got
I
it.
expect I'm firing questions at my brother.
Indeed.
It's changed. Why does it look different?
Mhm.
Does it look with the shifts of the workers or blah blah blah?
We got a by Dre.
Okay. Exactly. And your brother is doing his best to elaborate on the work structure, the shifts, the people left. He's trying to explain as much as he can. Katalina, you are kind of like half hearing this conversation, but your eyes kind of drift over in a direction, and you can see a series of containers stacked 2-3 high, kind of creating like a pseudo walled off area off on one side. It seems that they've done their best to hide what is happening behind there, but you catch a glimpse of one as you're of like a gap between two of them as you're trundling by, and you see that some of the planetary defense lasers that have been, aiming upward and shooting at attacking ships seem to be in a very, very bad way behind there, and are being repaired and worked on presently.
So they're not in good condition. They're currently in need of repairs.
They're in need of reassembling because it seems like they've taken enemy fire.
Okay. Can I kind of gauge from body language, more so from the condition of the equipment, but is this recent, like last 24 hours recent, or a little bit longer than that?
You aren't close enough to really read the body language of the people working on it.
All right.
You're just like passing by and caught a glimpse of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the platform trundles on, and you look around. It's your home. This is certainly your home. The classic Harbonan spirit is alive and well. Everybody's hustling and bustling, but it feels subdued, more focused, less fun.
Yeah. Her childhood memories would have been of a more jolly and chaotic space, whereas this feels a little bit more,
Subterranean?
Well, the underground thing aside,
Morose?
yeah.
Indeed. And so, oh my God, Chris, what is that noise?
Changed from phone to computer, that's all.
Oh, okay. It just made a weird noise, that's all. All good. No worries. She'll catalog that information in the back of her noggin.
Okay. This platform ends up meeting up with a more of a central ring that you imagine is kind of underneath the old city. It seems that this ring kind of around this large cylinder in the center of the space is probably where the few permanent fixtures are, and it contains things like power generators that probably couldn't handle being moved around constantly. Just the more fragile stuff that can't take being jostled around is kept in this central area, as well as spare supplies and a few cots where people are probably resting in between shifts. You are led by, names. No other book. 2 books now. It's chaos. Your brother, Stefan Demidov, in his scale mail Harbona armor, into the center of this large cylinder, and you two see the large inside of the cylinder, with another cylinder inside, with homes and structures attached to the walls, walkways, zip lines, gangplanks, ladders, the whole shebang, just connecting everything together. And as opposed to doing what was done by...
Bless you. Bless you. Oh, I forgot to put my thingamabob on. Hang on, let me be...
Oh, yeah. As opposed to doing what was done by Dr. Charles and Locky and walking around the perimeter kind of up and over and above people's homes and around, you are directed towards a more central walkway that has other people coming up and down it as well. And as you get close to the central shaft, you feel like a more subtle vibration coming from it, and you are deviated off to one side where there is a structure kind of jutting out of the wall. It's made of a green metal and has lots of long, narrow windows around the side of it. In fact, it looks a bit like this.
Okay.
You are also in the company of Lucia, who has just been in the background quietly carrying on her shoulder a very thorough, a hog-tied Jakob in a vac suit.
With the window blacked out.
I'm so nervous about this. This is fine, everyone. This is fine.
And
fine.
Oh, all good. That's an alarm. Charge, damn it. Okay. And you make your way into a large chamber, not unlike the one you see before you. There's a raised seated area off to one side with 7 seats, all kind of curving around, and you are directed to stand in. Hang on a second.
In the weird box in the middle?
No, that is a large holographic projector. You are directed to stand kind of over here, opposite the council. And as you walk in, they are kind of in talks actively. They're kind of speaking to each other. But as soon as they see you enter, they kind of quiet down and hush up and wait for you to take your place. Now, all of these council members appear to all be dressed the same. They're all wearing dirty brownish green robes with hoods up. You can see flashes of other color underneath, so you imagine that these council members have just come in from doing other things, pulled on these outer robes, put the hoods up and sat down. Except the one in the center here has her hood down and appears to be the one designated for speaking. Wait, I didn't take good enough notes. I need to check reroll for names. Oh yes, hi. Yes. Okay.
I will shuffle forward. Put my hands together and bow slightly and say, "Greetings, revered council members."
Katalina will kind of sort of like mosey up just behind him, but sort of let him talk.
Like, as long as you don't look scared and piss in the corner, it's fine.
She's fine. This is business.
Okay, hang on. I'm not sure whether or not Alice, you gave me Stefan token, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, let me check. Sorry if I forgot to
Okay.
do things.
All good. I'm just gonna use a stand-in for now. So as you kind of walk in and give a gentle bow, the council just wait and look down for you to get situated. And as soon as you seem to have settled in a standing position, the person positioned in the center stands and says, "Hello, I'm the one known as High Speaker Svetlana Petrov." Damn it, Smidge. And you, I believe, have quite a story to tell. We're all ears.
Where would you like us to start?
Well, according to our intelligence, you have spent some time on Yakuta, so perhaps begin with your arrival.
Oh, whoops, sorry, bro, I gave you the wrong one. There's Stefan. Just in case I did forget to give it to you.
Heck yeah, thank you.
Actually, here's a bunch just in case I forgot to give you the last ones as well.
Okay, cool.
Apologies.
We're good?
I picked up Katalina from Yakuta the first time, didn't I?
Yep.
Yes.
Because
somebody big.
because Ava asked you to smuggle me and another person out. Well, smuggle some people out, and it was me.
I didn't say who it was.
Yeah, and then it turned out to be Katalina and Darius.
Well, technically, it is not my first time to Yakuta. As part of the counterintelligence, I guess, on that planet, I was asked to rescue, or not rescue, but transport some passengers that turned out to be Katalina Sokolov to my left here. And another.
Yes, but I believe your more recent encounter was more eventful. And she kind of gestures forward, and the large holo projector shows a series of news reports of a severely damaged skyscraper, exploded military vehicles, a ring of arms around a swanky man's mansion.
A random killed person on the other side of the city. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yes, I guess we can. It is safe for us to say that was pretty much all us.
All of you.
This is not quite all of us. There are a few other members of the party that are currently not present. They are not a threat. They are just not here right now.
They have gone to seek medical attention and assist with medicine, I believe.
I see. And Stefan, you have received the reports from our agents, yes? Wait, no, Russian. He goes, yes, I have. The DNA analysis has come back clean. They are all who they claim to be.
We have also been in contact with the... We have assisted, and they have assisted us, the 6 psychic operatives that you sent to Yakuta.
Indeed.
No.
Those are the agents about whom we speak. We did have to corroborate your identities, as I'm sure you can guess, with a war going on this long. The Yakutans have tried many times and with a large number of techniques to try to infiltrate our walls.
Rory, just to keep in mind that at the moment, Katalina is not showing her true form.
Okay.
She activated her ability earlier
Mhm.
to show Stefan who she was. And she
Okay.
hasn't dropped it yet. So let me know when 2 hours has passed since we've been on this planet, because then she'll have to take off some more system
Okay.
strain. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, look, originally we went back to Yakuta to rescue Ani because we had heard that she was being held captive there.
Ani chimes in and says, TLDR, I was by that guy, and points over at Jakob, who's just on, who's his shoulder still.
We will get to him.
Patience,
Um,
patience,
Quite
Ani.
a long story.
One thing at a time.
It turned out she was not only held captive, she was also mind controlled. Or kind of.
Brainwash?
And there are
Mind wipe.
brainwashed, mind control. Like,
Personality wipe.
there is a psych-induced thing keeping control of her.
If somebody is interested after this, I can go over it with them. I have the information elsewhere.
Now, the man in the suit who doesn't seem to be doing or saying anything is Jakob Hanna. Well, you might
Yes.
know.
There's kind of like gasps and murmurs amongst the rest of the council, even though they aren't supposed to be speaking at that name.
That guy.
He is their weapons specialist and head of such things in their council of things over on Yakuta. I'm sure you all know.
We are well acquainted.
We thought that, one, you should hear his story from his mouth, if he should talk. But also that you guys should have the chance to look the person in the eyes that has caused a lot of this.
So, to make a brief story, according to Jakub, after the scream, Yakuta had an energy crisis, and they found some kind of alien tech inside their planet.
Not quite. But you keep going. Sorry, I interrupt.
They found this alien tech. They didn't know what it was, but it appeared to be some kind of energy source, so they tapped it. But, being alien tech and they don't understand, tapping it was not maybe the best idea in the long term.
The tech that they find in planet transport them to alien ship, duh? Where it was kept in drive space.
Better to explain the whole thing. It is a large stasis field. It has trapped an alien vessel within it. If that stasis field collapses, the alien ship comes out and cracks open the planet.
And not just Yakuta, it will have a blanket effect upon the sector.
It is big.
Catastrophic. I think we have bigger problems on our hands than war between two planets. But Yakuta is a little bit too proud to come and ask for help. Instead, they try to do forceful takeover to make their mistakes be covered.
There is a palpable silence after you make this exchange. The high speaker kind of sits down, rubs her temple a little bit, and says, and kind of just looks to her left and right and says, "The council will take a short recess to corroborate."
You do not wish to ask questions first?
You've given us a lot to think about. The council will come to a consensus on our feelings upon this new information, and then we will return shortly. She bangs a gavel, and they all kind of just stand up and file out.
Wait, before you go, I must stress that this power source is coming to its end, and there is not much time.
I see. That will be part of our conversations.
Duh.
Please don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Okay.
And they step out and leave you alone in the room.
And
Stefan, maybe you would like to show Jakob like what you think of him.
Stefan just walks over to you and says, You were here 24 hours ago. Why you not tell us this then?
Because it is not so believable when coming from one man.
It's hard to believe now.
also,
I
it's much
know.
easier to believe when we have evidence. We have brought evidence with us. We have the
Okay.
man in question. We have Ani, who is here, who has been through experiments of this piece of shit pizda. And there is also James, who is with the dear doctor right now, which you recall, I believe, is creepy baby with too many eyes.
Ah, duh, I see the creepy baby.
Yeah.
Is creepy baby with the doctor?
Duh.
Creepy babies with Dr. Lucy, from what I remember.
Right, yes.
And Lucy went to the infirmaries.
Yes.
So, from what we know, there is some kind of like portal device that lets people on Yakuto go through it to see alien ship, but when they come back, they are changed. Somehow.
Duh.
And not
So-
necessarily in good way, because everyone that's has come back not quite mentally sound.
In not usually good way, like covered in tentacles or with too many arms and legs and eyes.
Do you know where this device is located on Yakuto?
Yet.
We could maybe find out.
The person who knows is in this room.
I see. Have you attempted to extract this information from him previously?
Duh.
We have asked nicely.
We had some stern conversation, but I do not have stomach for more.
Plus, I think he's quite a tough cookie.
At this point, Lucia says, "Yeah, he kind of a dick."
She's right.
I kind of shuffles over and says, "I wasn't. This is very formal. I seen this place on the way past and during construction. He's very nice in here."
Oh, you would want it to be nice if you had to sit in her chair all the time.
Ah. I think Tazi would probably be by a window, like paying attention and hearing what's being said, but just like admiring the view and all the work that's been done under here. And after not too much longer, the council file back in. They get situated, kind of calm down a bit. Say, so, where is this device?
We are not sure. We
But
know
he-
it is under the capital of Yakuta somewhere.
But he will know. Duh?
Oh, he must know. It is he who has been pushing people into it.
I see. Please,
Sorry.
please.
Not pushing. Is good for. It is for the good of Yakuta that you step through this portal, dear soldier.
I see. Please bring him forward. And turn on the comms portion of his suit so we can speak with him.
Lucia?
Just like trudges forward silently, plops him like here, on his knees, like spins him on his knees to face them, like reaches behind his back and presses a button on his wrist controls for the suit, and is like, And as the speakers click on, Svetlana says, Senator Jakub Hanna, you are currently in the custody of Harbona. You stand accused of too many crimes to list effectively with my very valuable time. But you know what you did. We all know what you did. You will spend the remainder of your miserable life on this planet in one form or another. And you will tell us where this device is located. He kind of just like cranes his neck up and says, no, I don't think I will. And to which Svetlana says, that's what they all say. Stefan, take him away. To which he lumps forward, approaches Lucia. She like towers over him for a bit, just her default posture, and then she kind of steps back. Stefan hauls Jakub onto his shoulder too, and takes him into the back. Now, it is of the belief of this council, given current available evidence, that we are going to be launching an offensive against this device.
What do you mean?
This war has gone on for far too long. It has to end, and they are not willing to stop. So we are going to find the item, locate it, and secure it. Once we have Yakuta by the balls, we are going to sue for peace.
But this may not necessarily be the best option. There is a bigger problem.
This is currently, as far as we can see, the only option.
What do you mean? You have a person that they probably think is dead currently. And mind you, I don't think you're going to get much out of him through torture. You will get more out of him should you choose to maybe make deal with him so that he can have security of his family or maybe see them again. He is not stupid and he is not weak.
We understand that, and we are prepared to pursue a variety of avenues. But this war has cost us far too much. And as you may have seen, our defenses are not as they once were. We have been holding out for a long time.
Their capabilities are not as they once were either.
Oh,
You
really?
have proved to be a lot harder nut to crack than they expected.
We are confident of this. They have been unable to launch any effective ground assaults on this side of the planet thanks to our defensive lasers. And all of their landing parties in the opposing hemisphere have been rebuffed by the Zaza.
Just remember in your assault that there is a bigger problem. Bigger than us, bigger than them, and bigger than the war between us.
Yeah?
This ship, this alien vessel, if it pops out of warp in the middle of a planet, will upset everything in the solar system.
You can say goodbye to everything here.
We already have. Multiple times.
Well, this time it will be real.
And permanent.
There will be no
Yakuta,
recovery.
from what we understand, Yakuta seeks just more energy.
They wish to restore the energy to the ship so that they can stop it from coming out of stasis.
I see.
Everything on the planet that is not... Every spare ounce or atom or joule, I guess, of energy on their planet is being poured into the ship. Into this machine.
You may be able to strike up peace with them should you offer your aid. You know, once you get their attention.
We will take that under advisement.
And I will tell you now, it would rattle their cages should you have inside information as to the workings that are going on. So make sure the information you get from Jakob you use wisely.
We have no intentions to tip our hand unnecessarily.
And I tell you now, the general population has no idea why this war is on.
They are absolutely
Ignorant.
ignorant. They are not innocent, no, but ignorant, yes. They do not know any better.
This does not surprise us.
No, but please remember that there are many people who do not deserve to feel the consequences of their leaders' actions.
If a strike becomes necessary, it will be done with the utmost care. You have already encountered some of our covert agents, and how they're able to work in the field.
No.
They were not as effective as we expected, but that is only because Jakob had psychic defenses.
Did he now?
Indeed. He seemed to be alerted by the presence of psychic individuals.
Well, it seems we're going to have a very long conversation with Mr. Hana. Do you have any other information that this council will find useful?
He has wife and 2 children, perhaps.
I think it was 2. I think it was 2 children.
He seems to enjoy all the benefits of a high position in his militarized government.
He was very close to a couple of the other senators. And which was name of senator that originally tell Jakob that they should go forward with plan? It was not Jakob's idea to take over Harbona. Although he may have orchestrated it, it was not his
Jakob
plan.
is more scientist than tactician.
Is instrument, but not initiate. He was one who discovered ship and its capabilities, but not the one to come up with violent solution. What was Senator's name?
It was actually a general.
Oh, was it a general? I can't remember because my notes are on my other laptop that I don't have.
It's all good. It's the
General pain in the ass.
It's the general that Dimitri met after Darius died, when you were all like, "I'm here to help. I'm gonna protect you," and Molly grabbed a piece of memory from him.
Yes. Showed the underground cavern facility or whatever, but no reference to where it was.
Yes. Okay. We will bear that in mind as well. It seems this council has a lot of work to do thanks to you.
No.
In a good way, of course.
No. And there is almost irrelevant to this war, but probably not entirely. Jakob was partaking in some very peculiar experiments underneath his home, which, if I am perfectly honest, do not know if the Yakutans even knew he was partaking in.
Like the brainwashing technique and stuff that Ani experienced.
And
We have
the
been
mutations and things like this.
We have been debriefed on some portion of the brainwashing technique after the 3 survivors you brought us were spoken to and examined. All 3 of them have been scanned thoroughly, and I believe 2 are currently in surgery to have that cyberware removed from them.
Good.
The third shall be completed once the first 2 surgeons are finished.
This is good.
Anything else? Oh, the operatives on Yakuta doing a top-notch job.
How so?
Does that mean I've been called for a job?
What do you mean?
They're getting their cyberware removed.
Well,
You got to go to work.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. You know, I believe in our
Or medical.
a conversation, you know how to design it, but aren't familiar with the human biology,
Yeah, cool.
with how to actually install or remove it. I think that's what you said?
Ace, more or less. I mean, I've got minor in medical, but I assume it's alien medical anyway, so.
Yes. Okay. Unless there was anything else, this council will adjourn once more.
There was one more thing, but I forgot it because I got distracted by Chris's comments, and then my brain went on a tangent.
What's it about the
I remember what it was.
rogue AI that's now in control of Papadise?
No.
No.
Should we mention that?
Probably.
Probably.
They're probably quite starved for news here, having been in a lockout. No, what's the word? Blockade.
Oh, by the way, this planet, evil cybernetic mastermind. Yeah.
There is one. Who can I talk to? Who is maybe in charge or most deeply involved in covert operations upon Yakuta?
I don't know.
Joke's on you, it's Wayne Rigby.
General Paula is our current highest ranking commanding officer. She should be able to assist.
No, is not assist for me, but me assist for you. I know some contacts and resources upon Yakuta that will ally us greatly, but it is sensitive information which I do not wish to divulge openly. So, please respect my need for concern, but I only wish to share the information with those absolutely necessary.
If you like, you may divulge this information to me and only to me.
I would feel more comfortable with this, not in open room. Lives are far too much at stake if the wrong people hear about this information.
The council is adjourned. Everybody else except the two of us, get out.
Maybe everyone else should stay for one other thing.
Get your ducks in row, please, Miss Sokolov. We don't have all day.
I know, but I just remembered. Dimitri, maybe we should mention the other planet, with the,
The Greek planet, is that the one you speak of?
I guess. If you go to Papadise, maybe don't get the implants, okay? Make sure everybody knows not to get the implants. Don't go to Papadise, it's bad plan. Look, it's not very important, but it's kind of important in near future, maybe possibly is...
Lena, shh!
Okay!
Just tell them truth. There is an AI on fucking Papadise that is taking over everybody with an implant.
Is broken. Is no breaks.
Unbreak.
Unbroke.
Whatever the term is, it is fucking AI. It now controls whole planet.
Is another story entirely, but it is long story short. It is unbreak. It use implants to control the people. Is like personality wipe, kind of like what Jakob was doing, but on global scale. And I just remember that he tried to. We visit there, and he turned a couple of our friends. We fixed them. We make problem go away, but not before he infected me with nanobots, and forced me to try and take a copy of himself to Yakuta so that he could also take over their planet. We stopped them. We make it not happen. It's fine. There is no trace left of him inside me anymore. If you want to do a medical exam, it's fine. I understand. That's not the point. But I just remember that it might be incoming doom, His name is Dotak. He's kind of psychopath.
I see.
Kind of.
Yeah, You know.
He's bent on domination of everything because then everything will be efficient.
And in order.
Svetlana leans back from her position, kind of leans over to her left and whispers something. There's a brief exchange between her and the person next to her. She leans back in and says, "Given this information, we feel it's appropriate to divulge this with you." And you see on the big holographic projector on the screen a series of comms logs. It seems that the Harbonans have been managing to scrape together some access to the system's comm satellite,
Mm-hmm.
and there have been high-level encrypted correspondence between Yakuta and Papadias in the attempts of fostering an alliance.
Oh, that's
Don't.
not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, Боже мой. Well, there you go. Important information I know about ducks in order and things, but I forgot about this until.
Well, it wasn't exactly like pertinent information for current local problems, but
We did not think there was immediate connection, you know? Is right. You may have less time than you think you have about all of this. Oh goodness, I'm getting stressed. Duh. Unless anyone else can think of anything I have forgotten, that is all. If you would wish to have that private conversation, Svetlana. Hi, speaker. Miss, madam.
We're adjourned. Get everybody else, get out. They file out of the room. Yes, that means you, Mr. Demidov, and Miss Sokolov, and the two other ones.
I'm very sorry, guys, but
it is fine. Ani, Tazi, Lucia with me. Let us go.
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. And they all file out to the stairs out here.
Katalina will walk up to the holographic machine thing.
Mm-hmm. At this point, Svetlana gets down from the bench, walks around, and will just stand in front of you. She's actually only about 5'6", but looks taller from her power position up on the raised platform.
Catalina's taller than her. Catalina's 5'9".
Yes. And with the whole pretense of the foreboding meeting gone, you can see that under her robes she's wearing like dirty overalls, and you can hear the clink of tools inside her pockets as she walks down in front of you.
Is
Yes.
good to see you again, for what it's worth. And she points to the hologram. Can you bring up map of Yakuta?
She pulls a panel out of the side and presses buttons.
She'll sort of scruff it around a little bit and try and find the map of the city and find the old folks' home.
Mm-hmm.
You can find allies here.
I see.
You will not find them though, unless you go looking for them in a very specific manner. And they will not reveal themselves unless they know that you are a friend.
So they're hiding in retirement house. Are they old people? Are they staff?
I am afraid to say too much because it may not really be my place, but they are friends and they will help. They have the same goal for us.
That is okay. What could we tell them to earn their trust?
Use this code, and she like pulls up a code and she passes it to her, the one that she has to contact Sparks or Ava.
Mhm.
Tell them that you have been sent by the mechanic for repairs and are looking to speak to their technician.
Okay.
You will have to
This-
jump through some hoops, but that will at least get your foot in the door.
This can be done.
Um,
We will attempt to reach out if we can.
maybe contact them before you enter and try to go through a secure line. Otherwise, you will get nothing.
We'll give it our best shot.
Duh. And only send your most trusted. This is a secret you cannot share with many, because the people who live there and work there, literally their lives are at stake. If they are found out and they are wanted, there is no more opportunity for them. And they saved me while I was there, so I owe them everything.
Can you please make me a persuade roll?
Oh my Jesus, I'm so scared right now. Come on, dice. Ah, shit!
Useful pawns.
Shit! That is shit!
She nods along and says, "We will treat this information with the utmost delicacy.
It's a 5.
I assure you."
It's a 5.
No. You best return to your friends. I have a lot of work to do.
Duh. Quick question.
No?
Do you want to know where I might find my papa?
And she kind of led you by the hand over to this window and just points out across the cavernous circle, and you can see what is, in broad strokes, something that bears the rough shape of your house. The house that was on the surface. It's got the same structure that kind of implies that the interior has been successfully replicated just down here, except it's just attached to the wall of this large cavern. And says, yes, if you go around and up, down, there's a ladder, not a great ladder, down a bit more, you should get there.
Duh. And, big ask, but, is Mama still here? Or is she...
We haven't had any direct contact with Zata in about a year.
Okay.
They've been on the other side of the planet. We've had comms bursts, some communication, but no in-person interactions for some time.
Thank you. Please remember that we are trying to do good before anything else. Huh?
Yeah. Everything I do for Harbona. As much as it pains me.
For us too, you know? It's been a long journey, that's for sure. Okay, I must go. I have things to do, and if you need us, you will know where to find us, I'm sure.
Indeed. I will call in were the Sokolovs or the Demidovs.
That's probably about where we'll be. Okay.
Yes. You head out. She goes to the back. And as you step out into the hallway,
who's ringing?
your watch is ringing.
She'll answer it. Duh?
Charles?
I didn't think Harbona would be this interesting, but where are you?
At council room. What is wrong?
And where exactly is that? This hole is quite deep. I don't know where I'm going.
Up center? Why? What you need?
Oh, just there's someone that wants to meet you.
I'm in home planet. That does not narrow it down very much.
Someone that knows the hola.
The whole. Oh. Oh? Wait, what?
Someone that knows the hola from before the screen.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Why? Where are you? I guess. She looks over to Dimitri like, what the fuck?
What? Are you having a conversation with Charles? It's probably half nonsensical.
Well, he wants to meet you anyway because of your differences.
Stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, duh. I didn't
He-
tell them about that. Oh.
Yeah, no, and he scanned you from afar and could figure out the genetic differences.
That's kind of creepy, not going to lie.
It's impressive technology.
Well, we are not staying here. Where are we going? Dimitri? Ani? Tazi? Lucia? You probably don't actually have a clue because you're in a planet you've not been before. But, plan? Do we have one?
I want to go visit the infirmary or hospital because I think this might be a planet I can actually do some good on.
We have family to visit.
Duh.
Well, meet me at the hospital and you can talk to this guy and then do what you want.
Okay. I guess we will meet you at the hospital.
Yes. I chimes in at this point and says, "That is okay, Dr. Charles. I know the way. I can guide them."
We will follow Ani. We'll meet you there. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
we'll see you soon.
Boy. Beep. What? This was not...
Not the plan?
I'm very... I need some vodka, you know? Ani, can we stop by somewhere to get some on the way?
There is good vodka in hospital gift shop.
Good enough. Let's...
In a
Us.
hospital gift shop.
It's Harbona!
It's Harbona.
It's Harbona!
There's vodka everywhere.
I'm starting to think that people who have just gotten out of surgery are, waiting in their medical beds. It's like, yeah, it's breakfast time. You get your tray of your breakfast foods. Here's your cereal. Here's your complimentary cup of vodka.
Yeah.
It's oh, I've relocated your shoulder. Here's some get well soon vodka.
Let us clean that out with some vodka. Let us sterilize the instruments with some vodka.
Don't worry. There's more vodka.
It's like in every single saline or IV bag, it's just vodka.
Yes.
At the moment, because considering they're still in my house, I've whipped out a hollow panel and I'm showing an X-ray diagram of Locky's arms, and basically making a diagram of what looks like Charles way too far into pre-tech, but it's basically got a miniature spike drive built into the fucking twitch reflexes, and I'm pointing to it and saying much better, this moves quicker, phase through objects,
We can't currently make that.
Roll me some science, Dr. Charles.
Do I understand any of it is the question.
Can you also roll me science, Locky? It's your arm.
Ooh. What is my science score? Is it a 2 or a 1?
I assume with intelligence.
Yes, indeed.
The 1. So that's an 11. 11.
Ooh, I actually got a 9.
Okay.
Nice.
I was expecting a critical failure.
Lucky, you give it a once over, and there are some parts of it you understand. You can see some good quality of life improvements in the design, but some portions of it are just like, what? Charles, you think to yourself, boy, I sure wish we could build that. But it seems like...
I'm racking my brain trying to think of how to minimize a spike drive to that point. Just going...
Wait, so...
I need to get back to Elfdus. I might have the facilities to do this.
You can tell where the detail sort of ends. It's at the point of there being a spike drive that small. You can tell from the diagrams. Jin doesn't know how to make that component either. He just knows that's the one he needs.
At that point, I'm like, my friend, do you want to meet her, yes?
Yes, what?
My friend, the one with the funny genetic
Hola.
secrets.
Yes.
Do you know where the hospital is?
I just sort of straighten my robes a little bit and shift through a pile of junk, kicking some stuff out of the way, and pick up a hollow pad and just start walking out the door, nodding to you as I go.
Okay, I guess that's our cue to follow and start running after him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd be walking pretty slowly, but you've got to keep it a brisk jog to keep up with me, considering I'm 8 foot and a half. So,
Oh my god.
not 11, but tall enough that I'm just taking slow, long strides.
Indeed. It's kind of akin to Saru from Star Trek Discovery. He's also crazy tall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. So I've adjusted the map to be like the full zoom out version because I didn't bother customizing a whole bunch of space with it. I should have done. But still, you managed to... Actually, you know what? Since here's like the entrance to the area, I feel like the hospital would be nearer to the entrance, so it's probably over here.
I'm surprised and shocked and dismayed, Rory, that you have not made 36 custom maps for this map.
Yeah, how about
Okay,
You know what?
so...
We should go on break right now so that you can make one quickly during break because everything's unacceptable. No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I would never expect that of you.
And this is when all of a sudden the alien spaceship erupts into the normal space and tears the entire solar system apart, yes?
I
We
was
all
more
died,
along
new
the
characters.
lines of roll medical to see if you have an aneurysm.
I was going to say, oh no, Sokolov family home falls off the wall. Oh no.
Terrible disaster.
Rory, can you just try and help me keep track of time? Because I don't know how the time
Sure.
is passing in this.
At
She's
this
holding her
point,
form for the moment.
at this point, you probably would be dropping your form close to or on arrival at the hospital.
Well, she's gonna hold on to it. It's just every 2 hours it requires an extra
Okay.
point of sisters strain.
Okay, yeah. So spend one more, a bit before this scene. So you are for Katalina, Dimitri, and co. It's actually a pretty quick jaunt. It's just like back up the ramp that you came from, and off to the side. For Jin, Dr. Charles, and Locky, it's more like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to like climb back over people's houses. And at one point, I think Jin just directs you to a zip line and says, "This way, you go." And there's just like a series of there's like hand-holdy zip thingies, and he just walks up and grabs one and goes and flies across a large cavern and just comes to a stop on the other side, very happy, and just expects you to follow him.
Lucky would do it. He doesn't hesitate for that. Seems fun.
Yeah.
I think if
I'm just
anyone was
gonna
going to
make a
hesitate,
quick-
it would actually be Jin. He'd probably have a harness that he's jerry-rigged that just clips to it instead,
Yeah.
because he can't hold himself up.
Okay, I've made a quick mental effect save and Charles is on it.
Okay.
he's probably not very comfortable going over that chasm, and he's like ready to like press the button on his wrist injector if he needs to.
To fly.
Yep.
Fair enough. It's harrowing, but it's a smooth glide that's well designed, and it has sufficient like the gradient gets shallower at just the right point towards the end to allow a gentle deceleration, and it lets you just stop near the end and just touch down on solid ground. And you make it to the hospital. It looks like this area was once like 5 stories of containers all piled together. So it's a tall, narrow section that protrudes out quite a bit. But you can see that over time, a lot of newer structures have either been attached to the sides, or completely unrelated structures that happen to be next door have been co-opted, and like pipes have spanned out from the hospital to them to just incorporate them into the hospital structure. Like they need a new wing. They evict a family from their home and build a new one over there just to use the space nearby.
Makes sense.
It's been very slapdash, but effective all the same. And the 8 of you all meet up in the lobby. It's pretty no nonsense. There's just some uncomfortable plastic chairs in the regular configuration, and somebody behind a desk. Oh, and of course, a small shop in the corner that stocks like 20% vodka.
Figures.
20% vodka, that is so weak. Nobody drinks that pace.
No, 20% of their stock is vodka.
20% of all merchandise is
What
vodka.
Vodmarts or something?
Mm-hmm. Basically, yes.
It's vodka. There you go.
Mook vodkals?
My God. Yes. Katalina and Dimitri, you would make it there first, and the other 3 join you later.
Catalina buys a very home brand, like a classically Harbonan vodka that just probably tastes like ass, to be perfectly honest.
It's the Harbonan standard instead of the Russian standard.
Basically.
If we're going deep, I'm rolling for this. 67. You have the Peshtok family bathtub brew.
Right. She buys a flask size and she downs
Okay.
I've missed playing this game. For moments like these.
What was it called
Always
again?
have a bit of family bathtub.
The Peshkov family bathtub brew.
That's the top shelf stuff right there.
Yep. Nothing.
It's at least strong.
Nothing
That's like 60% alcohol, that stuff. Bathtub brews are strong.
The art on the bathtub brew, it like shows the bottom corner of a bathtub being eaten by the brew, and like a waterfall of vodka coming out.
It's actually just a mimic.
The fact that you came out with that so quickly means that you've given this thought.
I've given this absolutely no thought whatsoever.
Custom says, I'm no percent surprised that there is a vodka
Nice.
brand on the table.
I'm sorry, Mikhail, but I guess this is how my brain works.
I love it, and I appreciate you, Rory. Absolutely. She buys that like a hip flask size and downs it.
Oh, okay. Make a physical effect save.
He just burns a hole in the bottom and pulls out like a vodka waterfall.
Oh, that's a nat 20. It's fine.
Oh yeah. There are obvious physical symptoms of what's happening to you, but you are as serene as an orchid. And
like little puffs of fire coming out her ears.
yes, but yes.
The funny
But-
thing is, she downs that. She seems fine, and then her mind goes, "I might have broken something." As the 8-foot-tall grey dude walks through the door. She's just like, "Wait a second." Looks at the bottle. Looks at the dude. Looks at the bottle and goes, "I really need to stop."
Oh, I love it.
Never again.
Sort of chasing him behind Jin. I'm just like, you guys are already here. You've got really long legs.
I probably don't even notice that Charles is talking to me because I'm pretty fixated on Katalina at the moment. And I'll literally just walk out and put out a hand like I'm going to shake it.
She just looks at you like, what the actual fuck? She just looks from you to her bottle and it's empty, and up. And then around to Dr. Charles. Is this who you talk about?
Yes, Jin, Katalina, Jin.
I put my hand out a bit more, just like move it slightly. The moment you
Pleasure?
Yeah, the moment you grab my hand, I'm actually not going to shake it. I flip it so that it's wrist side up, and then quickly out of one of the pockets in one of my robes and run it down your arm. And all of your monoblades start coming out of your arm, of your hidden weapons. And I'm just looking at it. And at the same time, Charles's...
They're up the top, so they'd be
Oh, okay.
this way.
Yeah, so they just sort of come
Like
out.
Baraka. Yeah.
And I've angled it so you can tell I was expecting where it was going to come out, so it misses me narrowly. But yeah, it just comes out.
He really likes implants.
At the same time, Charles's
Okay.
same time Charles's compad is gonna chirp up and just say, "When you meet, holler."
I look at my compad.
Just for your reference, Chris, at the moment Katalina still looks like a human. She doesn't have her coloured skin or anything. She looks normal.
You notice looking at Jin's eyes, they're both a pretty deep yellow, except one of them has a slight blue sheen over it. And you get the feeling that he isn't impressed by how you look at all, and he's not looking at that.
Okay.
How long ago did we meet the whole
It was a number of months. It was like 3 months ago or something.
Yeah.
Because remember, traveling from sector to sector is quite lengthy.
Yeah, and then we were on Dotak's planet for a while, and then we were on Yakuta for over a month.
Yeah, it's been perhaps like 4 or 5 months at this point, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a while. 4 or 5 months ago?
Glances up to Katalina again, and like this is all coming through like synthesized voice on Charles's compad, just through speakers. It's just, why hide?
It doesn't freak out the humans.
This is my home. They're not used to not hide. Wait, I mean... This not being like it is.
That he just sort of lets go of your arm, takes 2 step backs, and just goes, "Yeah." And then points to his own face, which you can see has got like multiple rows of mandibles and way too many teeth.
You look beautiful, she says, somewhere between super serious and absolutely sarcastic. She's trying to make a joke, but kind of probably missing the ball a little bit.
You're like the Swamp Thing, but sexy.
Oh my god.
She's drunk. She's just holding it together really well.
He's gonna pull out of his pocket the star map that he showed Kristen, and just show it to you and say, "Where?"
We are Wait, hang on.
Yeah, it's a little bit out of date. I've got to take it back to the supercomputer so I can
Is it
chart
just me or
stellar
the
drift.
stars moving on this map?
Give it to me.
Actually, yes.
It's just her. She's just not seeing things straight.
Mm-hmm. If you're curious to give it a once over Dimitri, please roll me navigation.
That's 2 6s.
Oh,
Yes. You kind of look this over, and you recognize a few of these formations. Because of how light and drive space and things work, some of these you recognize, some of these configurations, though they are a bit different, you've had to use a few of these configurations when plotting courses through drive space. So light from some of these configurations is kind of tangled up in the whole drive space nexus, and you're like, oh, what? Okay.
This map, it is amazing. I would love to have it. I've not seen it put on paper like this before.
He just sort of grumbles slightly and like he's confused for a sec, and then just folds it in half and passes it to you.
Spasiba? Thank you. Spin around yes, look, oh my god, that is amazing.
Do you have Molly on you at the moment?
No.
Yeah, she's
yes.
in cocoon form on my hip.
But she would still register as a byproduct of her genetic engineering.
Can I see Molly?
Yes, you can actually.
Yeah, I'm just going to reach out and try to pat it.
She is in a cocoon.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll just point to it and look at actual.
Huh? Oh,
Uh,
Molly.
Molly.
That is her name. She's transforming. I do not know quite what she will come out as.
Fine.
Perhaps bigger, perhaps smaller, but harder. Maybe she fly. I don't know.
Sort of just nods a bit and then goes and sort of just looks around. And you get the feeling that he's quite socially inept, and he came down here excited about something. And now that he's discovered something, he's just not sure what to ask or say. So he just sort of stands there and breathes kind of heavily in a weird, creepy fashion.
I'm sure. I'm guessing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't ever change.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm very strange.
We love you for it.
At this point, Ani kind of pipes in and says, "So, this nice and all. Can we see Papa now?"
Katalina looks at her, looks at the little bottle of vodka and goes, I am not drunk enough for that yet.
You are quite drunk enough for that. Let's go. Don't make me drag you.
But this was so good, maybe I'll just go and get another one. Maybe I'll
No.
share it with Papa,
Yet. Yet.
I am hungry. I wish to eat food first. Something like this. Yeah, duh.
I had to repeat her.
I recognize food at least, so I can pass you an apple out of my robes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I pass you a potato, and he passes you an apple. Both are raw.
Did someone say burger?
Pim? Pim? Is that you? She just keeps turning around because it's on her backpack. So she's trying to see it from behind her. Does a bit of a spin around. No spin. That makes me feel dizzy. Okay. Wait, burger? I could go for a burger. Hey, Pim, can you make burgers?
Yet.
Actually, once I spot Pim, I'm actually going to raise an eyebrow and just go, AI?
I cannot. I am a box.
Broken?
Yet.
Da! No. Net. Sleeping. Wait, why am I speaking in one word so I can speak normal? Can you understand?
He can understand fairly well, he just can't speak English very well. So I created this program and I transfer copies of it to compads.
Okay. Right. Okay, sorry, I was just subconsciously following what you were saying, you know? Okay.
Wait, so hang on.
Ani slaps you across the face.
Have you actually got your transceiver there at the moment, Christian?
Which one?
The program you supposedly made? You
Yeah.
just mentioned you made something.
Yeah, it's how we were talking.
Oh, okay.
When Ani slaps her across the face, she just, looks at her sister like a stunned mullet. That hurt!
Get head out of ass.
You know, I don't think that's actually possible to put head in ass, you know? It's like, logistically a problem.
Technically, it is.
Scientifically speaking, it is very, very possible.
You just have to break few ribs, few vertebrae, and you can stuff head up ass. It is not pleasant for anybody, but it is possible.
Stuffing your own head up an ass?
Not the
someone
point.
else's, yes.
She is stalling Locky. You know how important this is.
Can
you carry-
Gloved Molotov asking the real questions?
Jin looks alarmed.
Katalina looks absolutely mortified and confused.
Hey, Locky, can you help Katalina to our family home? She's not well.
I grab her arm.
Fine!
Like, come on, let's go.
It's
Yoink.
As they're grabbing her to go, I'm looking through my bag for a sedative, and I grab it, and I just sort of go up to Locky and I'm like, needs to go in her arm port if she gets out of hand. And I hand it over.
Don't worry, Doc. I got this covered.
She's just being dragged. Hey, I want to. Come on! I just want the burger. Just let me. Fine. Okay, let me go so I can at least walk properly, please, Dimitri.
Yet.
No, but come on.
Yet. Not until we are closer.
But I can't go home empty-handed. I need to bring gifts. I have nothing. Everything I had was left on Yakuta, you know? Because we went woo! And then it was, it was...
Yet.
Then it,
Stop stalling.
Yeah. You complain loudly.
The entire way.
The entire way there. And several times, Ani just slaps you again.
It doesn't work very well.
No, it doesn't work as well after the first one. The first one was just to get some stunned silence from you. Every other slap is I imagine, just met with, why?
At some point, she will try and catch Ani's arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, grab her arm and just, flop it against her face. Just because.
Okay.
Christian, do you actually have the translator on you at the moment? That's what I mean.
Yeah, because it was part of my comps pad.
Oh, okay.
Katalina doesn't actually have a compad at the moment, just to keep in mind. She only has her watch, so there's only so many things that'll work
So
on there.
you didn't get it, but Dimitri and Locky got it.
Okay.
In that case, I'll just look frustrated and disappointed that Catalina's going, and then tap you on the shoulder and just point to your compad and put my hand out.
I look at my compad, I'm just like, please, for the love of God, don't break it. And hand it over.
Can I write a quick program that takes the rules of my language and runs it through to try and translate it as best as it can?
Yeah, you can certainly try it. Please roll me computers.
Alice, can you roll 2d6?
I can. If I can find the other DC. Oh, that's because there's only one there. A 6 and a 4.
Yeah, so that works out to a 14.
God damn. It takes you a little bit initially, because on any of the devices that you had, you've kind of created like a software plugin that changes the configuration of the keyboard to fit with your like paired thumbs. So you're like, oh, that's a bit awkward. But after a bit of adjustment, you start messing around, and while it does take you some time of just like standing around in the lobby, you are able to piece together the coding you need to have like a rough slapdash translator. You will have to make adjustments when corner cases come up as they occur, but that it will be really quick.
I pass it back over to Dr. Charles, and the speaker kicks in. Thank you. That was irritating.
Yes, I don't know enough about your language to get it to work, but that works a lot better.
Not too bad, at least.
Yeah, sorry about my friend. She's she hasn't been home in a while, and she's worried.
Worried? Why?
The war and everything has cost their family a lot.
Because it cost everything, everyone.
True, and that's what I'm hoping that I can change here. So,
How so?
I'm a doctor.
Oh, well.
So I'm hoping I can save some people and actually do some good in the universe for a while instead of blowing things up.
We've been short for a while. I do prosthetics, but no medicine good here.
You are not short. You are 8 feet tall.
What's wrong with the AI?
You look down, and in Catalina's drunken stupor, she just dropped him on the floor. Apparently.
I'm going to walk over and pick it up.
Please be careful with that. He's a friend.
Protecting too many teeth.
It's broken.
He's in a safe mode to protect himself and us.
Oh, I've heard some do that. It's different from djinns.
I've never seen a djinn AI. How so?
Rude.
Sorry?
It's crude. It's clearly well crafted, but something not sure. Sorry. And I pass it back to you.
Oh, good. I grab it and you were meant to stay in the bag.
I apologize.
It's fine, Pimp. I just sort of open my bag and just sort of pop him in for now. Don't mess with anything in there.
Jin realizes what he said was insulting, so he sort of just taps for a few seconds and then brings up a quick AI based on human brain.
To be completely honest, we're not sure 100%. AIs haven't been created since before the screen. This one's, I think, around 700 years old. It's hard to tell.
700.
So he's a bit different.
Did humans exist when I was previously around?
They wouldn't have made it out this far when you were previously around. So you wouldn't have known of them.
It's just different. Like, grav car versus ground car.
Oh yes, your sleep pod managed to keep you in stasis for well over 7,000 years. The technology level for that, I don't even think we had before the screen. And then,
Technology now.
well, on my planet, we're getting sort of close to pre-Scream tech, but there are still some things that we're having trouble figuring out, and a lot of Scream tech required psychics, and there's not as many of them as we would like. Wow. Some of them go nuts, so it's playing the field of making sure they're powerful enough to use technology and not going insane and murdering everyone in the crew.
I like how we're just glazing over the fact that he just called me shit.
He called you shit. He called you crude. You are crude.
We've heard your humor.
And rude.
Less advanced.
You do the job just fine. Just he's seen more advanced versions of you.
It's
I know. I'm just poking.
if we today came across a Neolithic society who built a supercomputer using ropes and bullets, that would still be incredibly impressive in its old right, but it would be crude.
It's the Babbage counting machine.
Yeah.
For instance, a computer from 1982.
Did your AIs ever have emotional issues?
Not really. We paired with AI.
Paired.
More. I'm sort of like gonna just.
Yeah.
Kill brain.
Sorry?
He sort of just quickly takes your phone off you and draws a quick sketch on whatever the sketching program is of what looks like a rough approximation, a rough cube, and then an arrow from the cube into the brain.
You installed AIs within yourself.
Effectively. Less themselves, more us.
So you use them as enhancement.
I suppose.
It's not something we've ever tried.
Bad idea. It's had side effects. Sometimes work, sometimes didn't.
Understandable.
Okay.
Well, while we're here, I was going to go see if anyone wanted help and actually use my doctorate. Did you want to keep talking while we work?
I sort of look around at the other two as well, and like, your story?
Yes, because Tazi and Lucia are still here. Tazi, yeah, they didn't go off with the rest of you. Lucia says, I had prosthetic since birth, but Charles fix. It was nice. I'm along for the ride. I'm getting paid. Oh yeah, by the way, someone has to pay me soon. Darius was the one who was keeping on top of that.
How much do we owe you?
Give me 20k. We call it even.
I will take 20k out of the ship bank. So it goes down to that. Okay.
Thank you.
I look at Tazi and I'm like, do we owe you anything as well, or?
I'm still figuring that part out.
Okay.
I gotta look back at I can't remember her name despite you saying it. Lucia, and say, why take prosthetic out?
Because I not have an entire leg since I was baby. I wanted leg back.
You can tell that Jin looks honestly confused. Like, why would you get rid of the better technology?
I wanted to be more human.
Sometimes it's not always better.
Out of character, please no one give me to Jin. I'm pretty sure he might throw me in the trash.
Oh, God.
I mean, low tech isn't a bad thing. I still use spoons.
Wow.
Wow.
You just got compared to a spoon, man.
Saving. I mean, when you're like expressing confusion to Lucia, she goes, "That's nice and everything. I'm gonna go and see what Bass is for shopping on Harbona because I just got paid. See ya!" And she just leaves.
Kitty!
Right.
Hello, Smooch.
Well, I'm going to go see if they need a doctor, and if you want to come with. Otherwise, we'll come. Pardon me. We'll come visit you once Katalina has slept off her hangover.
Irritated, couldn't talk properly to her.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I'm sorry.
Not imposing. And I look at Locky as well, because he's probably been the most uncomfortable with me.
Nah. You're alright.
Alright.
Can ask for permission to, do the touch.
Fair. I can fix that later.
Talk about it later then.
Okay. So, horizontal wiping over to whoever is going to the Sokolov house. Who is going to the Sokolov house?
I am going to the Sokolov house.
I am going to the Sokolov house.
Okay.
I am going to existential crisis.
I'm scared of the Sokolov house. I mean, going. to the
Catalina
Sokolov
and her
house.
sister are also going to the Sokolov house.
Pim hasn't heard any of that.
Mm-hmm.
No!
No. Okay. So, just so soft.
And here's the thing. I reckon if you asked Jin about any person's brain or anything like that, he'd also turn around and say crude.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh no! I just lost the use of my right arm because Smooch is resting on it.
Ah, you have been a cat trap, I
To
see.
your new life.
Smooch, I need this arm to control my mouse.
Oh, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
I mean,
You have been trapped by the cat.
I'm also petting him to keep him here. He's so soft. Okay, sorry, Smooch, I'm gonna need this arm back. He's fine with it, good, okay. So, I'm gonna cut this music, and I'm gonna play this music.
Do we want to have a quick break before we walk into
I'm-
the Sokolov house?
I am going to set the scene of the Sokolov house and then go for a break.
Oh, Rory loves seeing my fucking stressed panic
Mhm.
face as shit
Mhm.
like this goes down, man.
So,
Here's how I set the scene. I drag Catalina up to the front door,
mhm.
I bang on it, and as it opens, we go to a break.
No. I'm going to...
She's still bargaining, man. She's still bargaining.
Katalina, you are being manhandled by Ani, by Locky, by Dimitri, and you get closer and closer to your house. Eventually, as you get within proper view of it and are approaching the front door, you can see views in through the windows, and it looks very immediately nostalgic. Though dark inside, the interior layout is very familiar to how you recall seeing it previously. all the furniture's in the same place. All the things, everything on the shelves are what you recall them being. But there are cobwebs and dust kind of clinging to the windows. And as you approach the front door, it hangs ajar. What do you do?
So, like, we can come back later after I get some food, yes? Like,
Just shh. And I push open the door.
You push open the door.
But what if he's busy, We need to make sure... Okay, we're here, okay.
I push her through.
Katalina, you stagger inside, and immediately you are met with basically an exact copy of the interior of your old home. Literally everything is where it's meant to be, down to the crack in the vase that you knocked over when you were 7, and it was glued back together again. There's even 5 places set at the dinner table, and there's like pots and pans and trays on the table as though there would be a meal, but there's no food. There's no life to this place. All the lights are off, and everything is just covered in dust. You kind of step inside a bit more and walk around. You push open doors, and you can see Alex's bedroom, Ani's bedroom, and your bedroom, all exactly the same. Perfect recreations, covered in dust, like a time capsule. And as you're kind of just like sheepishly wandering around, you look across to the kitchen window, and you see one sign of light from inside this entire place. It seems to be your dad's workshop. And as you look in that direction, you hear sound of shuffling and things moving around inside.
She's actually gonna like start breathing really like heavily, like short and a bit panicked. And she's actually going to rush forward towards the light.
Okay.
Don't go to the light.
You run into the workshop. And
she
you
like
see
bangs open the door and just like wide eyes, probably tears streaking down her face.
You push open the door, and you can see that of this entire place, it seems that this is the only part of the house that's still being lived in. There is a rough cot shoved into the corner with a mess of sheets on it. There's weeks of MRE packets and drink containers just piled up in various corners. There's different half-finished projects. Some you recognize, some don't, all about the place. Shelves piled high with tools and components, and as rarity, like paper and blueprints pinned up on the walls. Some even depicting, some saying, some that just say over the top, crash site, and it sounds like it seems like he's been tracking the recovery efforts of the fleet that went down, kind of just up on this big piece of paper. You walk in, and as soon as the sound of the door swinging opens alerts the person inside, you kind of see someone's face poke around the corner of a shelf. Your father hasn't had a haircut probably in about 6 years.
As opposed to her, who has basically a like maybe this long hair. It's like the shortest it's ever been.
His head hair and beard are both down to his waist, matted and tangled with bits of food hanging in them. His eyes have big heavy bags underneath them, and he's wearing a rough poncho covered in oil and with overalls underneath. And as soon as he sees you,
Katalina, when she opens the door and sees him, says the dorkiest thing. She goes, I'm home from school, Papa! And she's like, it's ironic, and she's crying, and she's absolutely, like, not okay, but she just makes a joke of it.
Mm-hmm. He
Like,
sees you.
It's a reference to what she used to say every time she was home from school.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye, Mum, from school!
He sees you, and just collapses to his knees and starts ugly crying into his poncho.
And she goes over and collapses with him, and also miserably cries horribly. Yep.
As the two of you just kind of like sobbing and crying into each other, he kind of just like brings his nose up, his beard scratches your face, and he just whispers into your ear in between sobs, "I told you not to come back."
Katalina just... I could never have stayed away, Papa. I've missed you. As she's sobbing as well. Like, absolutely hugging him tightly.
And now we're gonna go for a break.
You're evil.
Left Ani in the front room.
Are you happy with your choices, Alice?
No! I mean, maybe? I don't know!
You made this happen. You gave
What
me
do you
all the
mean?
pieces I needed.
Big strange.
No, Rory. I gave you all of the puzzle pieces and you decided to put them together in awful, misconstrued ways.
No, I pieced them together correctly. You just didn't understand what you were giving me until now.
It's
Also-
fine, it's fine. Everything will be fine. It'll be
And,
fine.
and also, mad props to the soundtrack of this, which is a track called Ghost Town, also known as Katalina's soundtrack.
Fitting.
Okay, so yes, we can go for a break now. It should be about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, because I
Yes,
am,
what
like,
is-
busting to pieces.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, too many hydrates, people.
We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes, and then we will continue.
Catches.
Bye.
Sure, it's not like
Okay.
And some now I've got to take my hair out of the ponytail.
Oh yeah, hair flip.
Baby, okay.
I don't have hair to flip today.
Are we live?
Yeah. We are.
Hello.
I said
Right in my face.
I love having long hair.
I love having no hair.
It's so. Oh my god! Just get headphones. We're good. We're fine. We're good and fine.
I want to do a
Okay.
flip of my hair.
I love the best of both worlds.
That weird fucking noise Alice makes.
Eh. Well,
What is
That sounded a little bit too. Whew.
I don't make that bad a noise. Not that bad. And yes, there are 10 hydrates, so you know.
10. I just did 10 and a hair flip. So, back into the
Take my
moment.
time with those 10, or else I'm going to have to go to the bathroom again before we end.
So, Katalina staggered forth into her house. And in the moments before she encounters her father, Ani is standing outside as well. She kind of gives this look of relief to both Dimitri and Locky and just goes, okay, we got her here. Oh. I so focused on Katalina getting home, I not realize I am also home.
Lucky pushes her
Kat,
before she can have any chance of trying to get away.
you also hear from the other room. She yells out, Ani! Ani, come!
She staggers inside,
Kalina drags her
follows.
over and like onto the floor into their little huddle of cry
Uh-huh.
circle.
No smooch, stay with me. Aww.
And she just whispers,
abandoned?
Papa, we're home.
I only got like the high-speed drive-by of the sad house. So, as she kind of gets pulled in, she says, she just like, she can't speak really. She herself is just kind of reduced to tears, and your father doubles back down and is sobbing and just goes, "I thought I lost both of you. How are you both here?" And it's just, and like that's the gist you get from just the like, it's not pretty.
Catalina is also bawling her eyes out, but she's a little bit more coherent only because she's drunk. It's fine, Papa. We found, you know, she's not actually making sense, but she's talking easier than he is. And it was like the craziest adventure. And you know, I was going around places. You know, I met Dimitri. You know, Demidov Dimitri. I found him on my event. Well, he found me. And he brought me back. And we found Ani while we were there too. And it was a wild adventure of all of the craziest things. You would not believe everything. Papa, look at this. And she pushes him back and then turns herself back into herself. You would not believe what I have been through.
What color is your hair?
Probably wild colors of like pinks and purples and blues. Like,
Okay.
she's not super stressed at the moment, more just like,
Fucking fantasy book.
yeah, the
There
reality
are
of
so
everything
many
hasn't
happy
quite
colours that even
crashed
Mikhail
down
would
on
see
her
that it's
yet.
colourful.
Yeah. Reality hasn't crashed down on her just yet.
Okay, you are still in this moment of just ecstasy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, nothing else matters. I'm home. I'm home with my dad, and the family's back together, and everything's fine. And after a good few minutes of just coming to terms with the feelings of what was happening, he kind of gives you a big sniff and like blows a lot of mucus out in a in a dirty rag he had nearby. He says, "You mentioned Dimitri Demidov. Is he here?"
Da, Papa, he's Dimitri. Where are you?
Where are you, Dimitri?
Katalina will actually get up and run over to the other room to see where Locky and Dimitri are.
Okay, so I will ask first. So, Dimitri, I assume you entered the house after
Yes.
after the two of them. What did you do, Locky? Are you just outside the threshold, or did you follow?
I think he would have stayed at the threshold as he knows that Dimitri has history, but this is kind of their moment, so he's not going to interrupt until, they call for him.
Okay. Dimitri, you stepped inside and overheard all the really ugly crying from the workshop.
Yes. I'm in Alex's room.
Locky, where did Dimitri go?
Points down the hall a bit. I think he's in that one.
Dimitri, what are you doing? Come here! And she goes after him.
You go after him, and you see that he's just in the middle of Alex's bedroom. Sorry?
He's ugly crying.
I actually forgot to mention something at the end of last episode when we were preparing to leave the Molotov. Katalina changed back into her trench coat.
Okay.
The one that Alec gave her.
Yeah, so you find Dimitri is ugly crying in the center of Alex's room. I mean, on a side table next to the bed is the holographic play unit, and the two of you would practice flight sims on. There's maps of the sector up on the wall, things like ship racing and posters of all these far off exotic places. And you spent time in here as a child just fantasizing about going and traveling. And as you entered the room and looked around, you realized you've been to a lot of them.
Katalina wakes up. Oh, you go. All good.
Roll a perception check.
Ooh.
10.
You hear me whispering, "Why did I ever leave my love?"
No way.
Katalina comes into the room. She actually stopped outside the door before she entered, because that's when reality kind of hit her. And she actually quietly walks into the room, and she averts her eyes from the room. She actually just stares at the floor, grabs Dimitri by the arm, and drags him out. Or tries to. She tugs him and hopes that he'll come with her. Come, Dimitri, come on.
I stagger slightly to my feet and hug you really, really hard.
And she'll hug him back. We will... Let us... We don't know if he is really gone. But let's focus on what we have now, and we can mourn the rest later. Okay? Her voice is so shaky. She's very much in tears, trying her hardest to hold it together for Dimitri. And she's still just looking at the floor, trying not to look around the room.
I can't actually say it.
Come on.
Dimitri?
He can't be gone.
I hope he isn't.
He can't be gone because I didn't tell him that I loved him.
Katalina just like absolutely bawls her eyes out and just hugs him even tighter.
Let us go. I can't stand being in here at the moment.
And she like, yeah, no, I'm crying too. Damn it!
Ah!
Oh
Stop it.
boy.
I don't like the feel. Go.
God damn it!
Ah.
Nick, how dare you?
She like
I
tries.
you fucking scene setting, man. I came up with this when we entered the house.
Katalina tries really hard to like pretend like she's okay, but her hair gives her absolutely away. She is like, her hair is like, it's like various colors of like deep blues and greens and a little bit of like orangey red colors. Like, you can tell she's absolutely distraught from the colors in her hair, but like she's doing her best to hold it together for Dimitri. And she, instead, like an excited child, tries to hide behind the good news instead, the good stuff, and like drags him over to Ani and her father, and pulls him in for a hug with them too. Papa, we're all home.
Where did you find this one?
Dimitri found us, Papa. He found me on Yakuta when I was stuck.
Thank you for bringing my family home to me.
They're my family too.
Papa, he has always been like our family. You know what he has always meant to Alec and I.
These are my little sisters.
I know I never said it, but you know how I feel. I saw how you and Alec would look at each other.
Katalina
Yeah.
makes sure that Dimitri is in the middle of the family.
Oh. Big hug.
Yeah.
Stop it. I can't take much more.
It's so compelling. Locky, you are privy to seeing this just blubbering mass of Russian in the middle of the dining room.
It's probably mostly in Russian, let's be honest. He probably can't understand a word of what's going on. It's just a whole bunch of gibberish and blubbering to Locky.
He can't understand it, but he understands the context.
That's
And he just kind
true.
of shuffles to the side a bit so that he's out of line of sight. Just like takes a sit down on the ground outside. It's just like, you know, just wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him some time.
I feel like it would take a good 10-15 minutes to finally get through all of the emotions and just be together enough to have any kind of rational conversation besides just crying and big lumps in throats. But eventually he pulls you all into the workshop, like grabs a piece of sheet metal and puts it on top of a small table, turns it into a big table, and puts some old boxes and milk crates around and just encourages you all to sit and pulls out like a cracked bottle of vodka from one of his shelves and
Wait.
pours everybody's shelves.
1 minute, Papa. And she runs out, realizing that they've forgotten about Locky, and runs to the front door. Locky! Locky?
Hoi.
What are you doing? Just come in, come on. And she like
You
grabs him by the arm and like yanks him up. And like drags him in. Come in. You are a part of the family too. Come on. And she like pushes him in. She's still pretty drunk, so you know.
Stumbles into the living room.
Papa, we have one more guest.
She pushes you through the living room and out to the back of the house where the workshop is. And as you enter the room, he looks at you. He looks at Katalina. He looks at Ani. And there's kind of like you see like a full-back dad reflex kick in. You've probably seen a few times before in your teenage years of just boy, girls, must protect. He stands up, and in the most foreboding manner he's been able to conjure forth this entire time, just kind of like squares his shoulders up, strides across the room, and tries to get and tries to just size you up. You, of course, being quite a bit taller than he is, it doesn't go super well.
Joke's on you, Locky brought his mum.
But he just...
I mean, when you last spoke to me, you said you were in full power armor.
I am in full power armor.
He like gives your gear a once over. Says, "So, who are you?"
And Katalina doesn't even give him a chance to say, "Papa, this is Locky. Papa, he is part of our crew. He has been a great help on many missions." And this is probably where he realizes she's drunk.
In the meantime, Locky's kind of like fumbling with the rim of his helmet.
Like,
and
kind
he is
more just like this is an awkward situation.
Good friend, great
Katalina,
crewmate, has been.
let him speak for himself, please.
Oh, okay, I guess so. And she goes.
He's just like, "G'day, mate. How you doing?" And puts the hand out.
He pauses for a moment and then does the whole like hand to forearm grab. Just goes like gives you the big up and down shake, and kind of does the whole all right to the strength behind your shake. Goes, you protect my family, though.
Yeah, pretty much, more or less.
You travel with them.
Hey.
You keep them safe across all their adventures.
Yeah, more or less.
He's also really good with tech, you know.
What is the worst thing you have saved my daughters from?
At that, he kind of looks over to Katalina like,
She just shrugs.
I know my girls would never tell me the truth, but I want to know.
The worst you saved her from was probably Dotak, I think.
yeah, look, he's kind of like in his mind like, like literally just, and he's just like,
hey, at least you don't have to say that you killed her.
That's true. My doctor killed me.
When Charles meets her dad.
That's why he's screaming his mind. He's like, yeah, protected her. It's like, you know, just the usual run-of-the-mill stuff. Some military stuff here. Rogue AI there. You know, the usual stuff. You know, some rogue nanites and stuff. Yeah.
You and I will have longer conversation later.
Papa!
What do you want, mate?
But for now, you are welcome in my home. If my family says you are family, then you are family. Please take a seat.
Looking at the chair, does it look like I will probably break it if I sit in power armor?
I will 100%.
I will stand behind it politely.
Katalina leans over to him and goes, "Just take the power armor off, Locky."
Kind of looks around for a moment and thinks, safe enough in here. We'll step out of it.
Okay. As
As soon as he takes it off, the father's like, "Oh no, he's hot."
I mean, you said you
the
like
helmet on, yeah.
Yeah, helmet was off. You kind of fumbling with the room with a helmet, but he sees your more battered combat fatigues and just gives you a knowing nod. And you all sit around this ramshackled excuse for a dining set in the middle of his workshop. It seems that in all the time he's fussing around doing things, gathering stuff, you notice that he can't seem to bring himself to actually enter the house. And is just doing everything in here. He has everything he needs, or thinks he needs, and is trying his best to make do, and is making small talk as he drink. So,
For the most part, Locky would be avoiding anything that directly states that Katalina was put in quite serious harm's way. And probably would talk a bit more about his career as the scout and also avoid his planet.
Okay. So, you work with you say, Humasaya Buzga? What was the ship you mentioned, Loki?
Used to work with him. It's we had a mutual separation, so
Okay.
to speak.
Oh, one of his former crew is traveling with us now. Does he come with us?
Mutual separation is great wording for we want to mutually kill each other.
Uh-huh.
Locky can be diplomatic.
I bet you he's got one of them voodoo dolls of Rigby in his room.
Almost certainly.
And how about your home? Where do you hang your helmet?
I mean, for the moment, don't really have a place to call home other than the ship. Travel from here to place. I'll find my place eventually.
What is this ship of yours? I have not heard much about it. Katalina, Dimitri, Locky is a nice ship. It's good to live.
Oh, well, it depends on which ship you are asking. We have two ships now. We have
Ah?
the Gloved Molotov, which is little ship. Well, I mean, it's not actually it's not tiny. It's big enough to live on. And then we have the Milan, which is cruiser.
You have cruiser.
What's his name?
Yeah, legitimate salvage.
What is the name? Say
The
to the.
GM Milan is a logistics cruiser.
Wait, what?
What was that?
That wasn't there because he's with Christian.
I was gonna say he's with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
Pim's not with us.
Wait, for real? That's rude.
I mean,
It depends on if they decided to take you instead.
Well, you
They noticed
spoke
the big
earlier, so Rory said that Alice must have accidentally dropped it.
yeah.
So
You spoke
yeah.
after they left. So I'm like, well, I guess he wants to be in this scene. So I said that it had nothing to do with she dropped you. So you're still with
Rewind.
Charles.
Is
So rewinding this.
Milan is like his cruiser, you know, big ship. It requires a lot of robots to run. But I don't think we could afford
Name?
to. What?
Your father, does he recognize the name?
Milan.
I think he would. He kind of just takes a moment with that and goes, Milan. Is good name.
Da, is strong name.
She's a beauty.
No. I know ships get to be she, but this one is he.
I was just say big boy.
Don't ruin this!
I'm sorry. Okay. We have been busy, Papa. And Locky and the rest of our crew has helped us as much as they can to help Harbona.
I must know. Tell me more of your other friends. I now know. I now know of this Locky. Who else?
Well, there was Darius, but he is no more. Unfortunately, we had a mission gone wrong. That was.
Takes another shot.
Look, he was involved in the immersion in Yakuta, so.
What?
It's a long story, but
Easy to say, like, criminal underground.
but, but trying to do good is hard to explain.
Okay.
It was
He meant well, but his methods were possibly shady.
He's definitely missed. It is noticeable gap in ship. But there is also Dr. Charles Baca. He is doctor, psychic.
Is he medical doctor? Is he doctor of psychology?
Before Katalina can respond, Locky's just like, Doctor of Space Magic.
Da! But also Doctor.
So he is Doctor Space Magic. Okay, I will use appropriate titles when I speak to him.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
Mr. Doctor.
You know what? We just call him Doctor.
Okay, Doctor Space Magic it is.
Yeah, I think he will like this. Says drunk Catalina. Let's be fine, you know? That's fine. Who else is there? There is Dimitri, help me.
Tia? Tazi?
Well, we did mention Tazi.
Him?
Of course there's Pim. I did not forget Pim. I just hadn't mentioned Pim.
At this point, does she notice that she's dropped Pim?
Probably.
Well, that's what I was waiting for.
You're like, friends. Oh!
Pim! Oh no! What happened to Pim? Loki, what happened to Pim? Where is Pim?
You had him.
Have you dropped him?
I don't have him.
You dropped him? He's
had
going to
him.
be so pissed with you.
Who is friends so small you can carry and then drop and then forget about?
Pim is
He's...
Well,
let's just come out with it. He's an AI.
he is AI.
He's my little brother.
Actual?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
No, I mean actual AI.
I mean, yes. He is AI.
Oh shit! You found actual AI? Wow.
Oh yeah, we found more than one, but only one of them so far has not been Insane Maniac. That's Pim. He is not Insane Maniac. Yet. We hope. We're trying to fix that. From happening. Pim is good friend. He is good. He means well. He is like child learning to live in world for first
See,
time.
I find this is the problem with you when you are drunk. You dig holes for yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dimitri.
So, Papa, somebody was so scared of showing her face to you that she got herself drunk.
I'm not drunk. I'm just sufficiently inebriated to cope with this situation.
In fairness, I'm not exactly helping. I'm giving her more booze.
Okay! Also, Papa, have I told you I love you? And I have missed you so much.
I love you too, Katalina.
But
More than you could ever know.
there is a lot to catch up on, you know?
Let's perhaps circle back to the tiny droppable friend.
Oh, Pim!
You should find out where he is, huh?
I pull out my compad. I'm like, Charles.
Charles, so you are in a hospital wing. You've
They just
been,
let me in.
you were led in initially by Jin, and probably had a weird conversation of, wait, who are you? He's with you? Wait, are you with Dr. Lucy? We've seen her credentials. Show us your credentials. And then you were like, Dr. Charles, this is my paper from Alphys. And they go, Alphys? Right this way.
Doctor from Elftus. Yes.
I would have probably requested your compad to try and continue working on what I was doing to improve speech to 10 there. So your call whether you gave it up or not.
As long as you're close by, just in case I get a call, yeah, it'd be fine.
Okay. So you probably found where Dr. Lucy is set up, seen that she has baby James all nice and situated, and gives you a rundown on some of the patients she's been treating, and just says, "Oh, if you're here, this one, and this one require your immediate attention." So, Jin, you're probably sitting next to baby James in his like little
Crib.
his crib, his life support cubicle, coding, while Dr. Charles is just going from bed to bed going, and then his compad begins to ring.
I'm probably just going to answer it because why not?
Mm-hmm.
And
Answer it in your native tongue.
it chirps very loudly at the same time with me calling out, "Hey, Charles."
I'll start on my way over. Sort of like, yes. Hello.
Charles,
I'm in a hospital. You have to speak louder.
do you have Pim?
Yes. Katalina dropped him.
And
He's in my bag.
Dimitri, does he have? Did you ask him if he got Pim?
Shh, he has Pim.
Oh, thank God! And she just like slaps her hand to Locky's chest. Thank God! I thought I was gonna be in so much trouble.
He can take care of himself.
We are bad robot parents, you know? Wait, Pim's not robot. AI parent. We are bad. Bad AI parent.
Could you put him on the phone? I want to talk to Pim.
Oh, Pim is in safe mode. Is like hibernation.
Like talking to Katalina when she's drunk.
Hey! I make good conversation when drunk.
That is still enjoyable.
See? Papa agrees. Thank you,
Charles,
Papa.
was it? Hello.
I thought. Didn't
I
you
call.
hang up? Yeah.
Oh, you ain't
Hung up on me.
I'm
Okay.
like, is Pim there? Cool. Dip. We can have proper meetup with them later.
Okay.
Catalina perhaps has a little sleep.
I don't need sleep. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh,
I
fine.
had-
I will have sleep.
I had 4.5 hours sleep yesterday. Was that day before? Did I sleep in? I didn't sleep in ship. It was last yesterday. I should probably sleep.
You do know that it's close to like 10 p.m. here.
And it's been like a long while since she's had proper sleep.
Just yes, of course. You can stay the night. I will move some things around in here. I can get some more cut out. It should be fine.
Okay.
You just sleep in her room.
I
He's
like
listening.
sleep here. We sleep here. Where are those cuts?
Yes, he had this moment of just like
Panic.
brain panic of like, but and her going back to like, yes, cots are fine. She goes, he just goes, okay, yes, I get the cots. Locky, can you help me move this shelf and this shelf back against wall to make floor space?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So you do some rearranging of the interior. He pulls out like 4 more like camp beds. Get out some like chunky like scratchy wool blankets and some pillows and puts them down. And goes, "Is just like home."
Better than my home.
You have yet to explain your home.
It's
Lucky
Long story.
comes from place with Dom. What's called is called Yunus. He's from Yunus, Papa.
close enough.
Uranus.
Yeah, Uranus.
I feel like Yunus. I feel like I read about that planet. It have people fight over plant, da?
Yeah, not a lot of good to read about us.
Well, you're here now. You make my family more than I thought it was.
Don't worry,
Everybody-
mate. I'll keep him safe. We'll
Please.
start assisting with helping set up all the cots.
Yeah.
And Katalina will go over to Ani.
Ani's been reasonably quiet this entire time. She's been like engaging and taking part and chatting if need be, but hasn't been actively stimulating new topics of conversation. She seems happy to be here. And when you approach her, she has this like big but subtle smile and goes, "It's so good to be home."
Katalina like has tears in her eyes again and just grins like a fool. And just like gives her like leans on her shoulders from behind, with her head next to her sister's head. Da, it's home. I mean, it's not quite home, but it's home.
Papa needs a lot of help and love, but it's okay.
Are you going to stay here, Ani?
I think so.
I think that is best.
I know you have a lot to do and a lot of things you need to take care of.
I have a lot of promises to keep too.
I know one of us at least should stay for his sake. And I can't imagine being anywhere else right now.
I will come back as soon as I can, da?
No. I will figure out why he knows what to go and harvest. I'm sure the next time you are back, you can sleep in your old room again.
Katalina looks a little bit like head caught in it, deer caught in headlights for just a flicker of a moment that she probably notices, and like gets the sense she's not ready for that. Next time. Da. Next time.
Da.
But Ani? And she whispers really quietly. Don't tell Papa, but I want to try and find Mama.
But she's... But
I know.
He's only just feeling better. Please don't.
I won't say anything. You don't say anything.
No.
But I just want to. I have to see for myself.
Okay. You let me know how it goes, okay?
We will stay in contact. And she like long pauses for like a sizable amount of time, but clearly like trying to say something. If no matter how small chances, I want to hold hope. If you find anything, if news of Alec happens to come around, let me know, okay?
Yes, of course.
I know it's not. I just hold hope, you know?
Me too. I see Dimitri does as well.
Duh. He holds more hope than any of us. But it only makes me hope stronger.
Of course.
And you know what? I've seen Dr. Charles pull off some very crazy things. You never know, duh?
No. Maybe we find him someday.
I hope so.
Okay. We are going to horizontal wipe away from this heartwarming scene and move across to the Russian winter that is the hospital.
Oh, good lord.
Charles, you have been working away for some time, and you're beginning to put some pieces together. There's not a lot of immediate combat going on around the city as you were landing. There weren't like battlements or gunfire or encroaching forces, so people are hurt, and as you're healing them, they are already in various stages of like post-surgery or dressed bandages and things like that, and you're treating bullet wounds and slash marks and being run over by vehicles or shrapnel and all the usual war stuff, but you're wondering, where's the fight? Where did these people get hurt to end up here?
I'd probably start asking.
As you ask around and just put forward general curiosity, I'm checking my notes on the faction turn.
The faction turns scare me so much.
Oh yeah, I remember the grab type formation. That was fun.
Sorry.
Yeah. What?
You're being mean.
It's fine.
I'm so nervous.
Roll me persuasion, please, Dr. Charles, as some of these people are pretty shell-shocked and rattled and perhaps aren't up to talking about recent trauma.
Not terrible. It's a 9, but I don't know what bonuses I have. Give me 1 second. That's a -1, so it's an 8.
8. Okay, you don't manage to piece together a full picture of everything happening, but you do know that there is what is discussed is that there is a Yakutan encampment kind of entrenched near the edge of a mountain range, kind of around the other side of the planet. The Harbonans have been sending forces to try to remove this Yakuten foothold and fully take back the planet, but they have been facing resistance, and that's where a lot of these forces have been coming from.
Right.
I imagine I'm done for the moment, so I'm going between people with prosthetics and basically just giving them experience surveys.
So you're asking, how have you liked your prosthetic?
What's wrong with it? How can I do it better next time? Why doesn't this suit humans? This suits me. What's the difference? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you've got elbows that bend that way. Oh,
You've
How inefficient?
you have designed a foot that has like 3 forward toes and 1 back toe. You're like, this seems fine.
I mean, it's better. It's, you know.
You're getting mixed results, Jin. Some people are. Some of the people you're talking to, I think you would recognize from before, like before they shipped out, and you've seen them return. Some you were around for after they returned, and you installed their prosthetics, and just getting feedback. The reception is mixed, but people are willing to humour your inquiries and are giving you quite handy feedback.
To be fair, he is being compassionate. He's not walking through business-like. He is genuinely being heartfelt and empathetic as best he can, being looking like he does.
I imagine at one point during it, like, Charles will walk up to, like, a new amputee and just sort of be like, this might hurt, as he just sort of like puts his hand on the head and then a hand on the stump and just sort of like activates his power and has the arm start to grow out again.
As an arm just like goes, just like grows up and out, bone first.
The sound effects complete me.
And the bone is growing out first, and just like sections of muscle are like crawling up the bone, and veins and arteries are just like growing up along with it. It's a very like 3D breakdown of a body, and of course the skin's like trailing along behind, and it takes a bit to take full effect, and he is howling in pain the entire time. But once he's done and his adrenaline has kind of calmed down a bit, he just is still lying in bed going.
At that point, I just sort of like stumble back a bit, look for a chair, go and sit down, and I'm just gonna be like, it might be tender for a bit, but rest. As he like tries to catch his breath.
Thank you.
I'm just standing there absolutely surprised because I do not have familiarity with psychics in the slightest.
Oh.
I just blink a few times and I guess sometimes cyberware's not the best. And I pick it up and just, do you still want this?
The guy in the bed, like this, he's just like 21-year-old ginger dude with a big gap in between his front teeth, and just goes, "No, I'm good. You take that back, big guy." And like sincerely pats you on the arm as you're like holding it.
I just realized I dropped accent for a bit there because he got it working, so it has his accent now. So I'll go back to accent.
Okay.
No problem then. Oh, that's fucking Tabaxi accent. No, I can't remember the one I decided on. Jesus Christ.
You'll find it again. I believe in you.
Jesus Christ.
No issues. And I just sort of pick it up and disassemble it a bit and just roughly wipe off the gunk where it connected to the fleshy bits.
So yeah, every now and again he'll like just heal people normal hit points, and every now and again when he feels recovered enough, he'll just sort of like get to a bed and just be like, "That's a pretty bad one. This is going to hurt," and then does it again.
I think the most interesting healing encounter you have is when you find somebody on a ventilator who is like post-op having an entire lung taken out because it was so badly damaged, and you go, "That's no way to live."
I can fix that.
Yeah.
At that point, I look at him, I'm just like, real quick, what I want you to do is just exhale as much as you can. Okay? 3, 2, 1. And I just like put my hands on his chest to grow the lung as quickly as possible while he's exhaling. Keep exhaling. Exhale, 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 exhale. And breathe.
Oh. Yes.
Jin's just looking on and he pulls out a small notepad and it's got this guy's name on it and he just crosses it out slowly while looking at the guy, just absolutely bewildered.
Okay. You are going about your business. Basically, it's not. You're in recovery. Effectively, is the part of the hospital you're in, because other doctors are like performing some surgery, but there's no one like immediately from the front lines here at the moment. However, that changes. You're kind of in there, and it doesn't take a perception roll. You've got well-trained ears for this, and you hear the clatter of hospital jargon and beds on wheels and hasty metal clattering, and probably see like one of those like high-speed bed conversations going by the door, where it's like 2 nurses and 3 doctors all fussing around one person going, oh my god, panic. And as you see them rush by, you're taken aback as you see another person kind of trailing behind the bed. They're about 7 feet tall, standing on 2 long, slender black legs that kind of get very puffy and fuzzy around the calf. Most of the thorax and abdomen are covered in like black and white fuzzy stripes, and there's like red wavy looking armor on the shoulders and the back. It seems that there's two sets of arms used for manipulation, and one set is carrying a spear that has like a short monoblade head, kind of like melded to the tip of it to be the damagey end. And you see for the first time Azaza rushing by.
Russian?
I will probably follow.
Okay.
I just be like, wait, what? And rush out of the room and just sort of watch where they're going and sort of follow down the hallway.
Okay.
I would probably follow as well, because I need to take stock of many patients till I need to make it to it.
Chris, say again. You're a bit more.
I would follow too, because I need to take stock of new stuff I need to build.
Okay, yeah, sure. I will say, Jin, you would have seen Zaza before. There are like a few dozen that live just constantly around the city?
I'm sure he would have barely even glanced at it.
Yeah. And so you both follow along and rush hurriedly after this patient. Dr. Charles, they pull into a side room, and the nurse initially goes, "Whoa, no more in there. We're full up, Mr."
Dr. Charles Barker from Elftus.
I
Biosonic.
suggest you let him do it. He's been replacing most of my prosthetics.
Oh, Jim, I'm sorry to hear that. You've been doing good work, but also I'm happy our patients are doing better as well.
They seem to prefer their original limbs, so I'm fine with that.
It's such a wild sentence.
Imagine there's just a hint of sadness in that thing. Oh.
Yeah, he's slightly off-put, but he's not begrudging about it. It's more like, hey, they're happy, I don't give a shit. But it's also like, man, you guys are so backwards. What do you mean?
What do you mean that you're happy being a meat bag?
Yeah.
So she kind of ducks, this nurse, she kind of ducks into the room and has a chat with these three doctors who are in there, who are kind of just like fussing over this patient. It seems like he's lost both of his legs and a portion of one of his arms in some kind of really grisly explosion. It seems though that all the parts of him that are missing have kind of been like covered over in the same weird, like, red material that you see the Zarzar kind of has on them as armor.
While they're talking, is there a washroom next to the door?
Yes, of course.
The doctors. I just go in there and I start prepping.
Okay.
I'm actually going to follow Charles, stop next to him for a moment and look at him and go, "You're starting to look tired."
I'll be fine. A couple hours and it should be good.
How many times can you do this?
Not sure. I haven't tested the limit in a while, and I've gotten a lot stronger doing it since then. I used to be about 11. That was it.
You've already hit 6 or 7, haven't you?
Yes, but it will be fine.
There. Alright, we'll go for the major things. At least the less important stuff I can replace. They won't be as happy, but you won't be useless.
We'll see how it works. And I finish up, like, washing, put on my scrubs, put on gloves and stuff, and I just sort of, like, ignore the fact that they're probably still talking. I just shoulder my way into the room with my hands up.
Okay.
So, patient?
Dr. Charles, I presume?
Yes.
We've spoken to the nurse. Have at it.
Can I get the bioscanner reading?
Yeah, and so basically, everything you asked for, she gives. It's a whole like scalpel, suction, everything you asked for, she provides.
So basically, just clean up whatever that red stuff is.
It's interesting as you look at it. It's soil. As you give it like a scanner once over, it's the soil you saw on the surface of the planet as you were landing, but it's been metabolized and its structure's been altered somewhat. And
did the Zaza literally throw this up onto the person to hold the wound in?
Yes.
Gross.
Well, that's not hygienic.
Effective though.
It seems to be fairly antibacterial, actually.
They tend to hold it on, and then I work later. But
as I remove the first part, I like put it in one of the things, and I'm like, "Can you keep that for me? I want samples." And then I just sort of like press my hand to the stump and just close up all the wounds and then start drawing it out.
Okay. This whole process probably takes you the better part of an hour of just these other doctors initially just like they watch the first leg grow out and are just like dumbstruck going, oh my god, it's true, they actually can do this kind of thing. Wow. And then once they're confident you have this, they all just leave and see to other patients.
There are a lot of patients out there, I get it. As I keep moving. I basically, like, as I finish, I'm just sort of like standing there. And I'm like, he's stable. Blood's fine. Limbs are bioscan. They're good. He'll probably be unconscious for another few hours. He was pumped with a lot of stuff. And as I'm like saying that, my head starts to like get dizzy and I just sort of like fall over onto the ground and just sort of like, oh, yep, nope. I think I found the limit.
I'll walk in and like grab the back collar and just go, I can't lift you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just give me a minute to catch my breath. As I say that, I'm like, I look over at the sink and sort of see a glass. I just sort of like think to myself, move it over, turn on the sink, fill the glass with water and float it over to me, and I just start taking sips while I'm trying to catch my breath.
Oh, how does that work? You have no cyberware.
It requires a lot of explaining. It has to do with spike drives and the radiation it gives out.
Can I make a tech roll? Do I know anything to do with psychic or anything in realms of Psytech in Alienware?
Yeah, I'd call that more culture of your home planet.
Okay. Can you roll 2d6, Alice?
I can. Also, the chat is loving gin. Oh, that's 4 in total.
With my culture, that's a 5, and intelligence, it would be a 6. So,
You aren't. Yeah, you don't really fully grasp how a spike drive would be able to render this kind of effect on a brain that you're familiar with. You haven't spent enough time with human brains to understand the extent of the differences, nor have you really spent much time with psychics or their brains.
Yep. I mean, none of us were psychics, so...
It's interesting. Here I was thinking, where this world is so primitive, and yet it's different. I guess now I'm the ground car and you're the grav one.
Oh no, trust me, there are problems that come with this ability. Because if you use it too much, it can cause fractures in the psyche.
That Jin looks quite a lot more alarmed. And he goes and gets you another glass of water.
I'm just like, no. Different overuse. I'm fine. I try to regulate myself somewhat. As he sort of like looks down at his wrist injector and just sort of goes, somewhat.
And now that you're looking at it, I'm going to reach out and just grab it and pull it up to me. And I imagine I can gather enough about it to understand that A, it's stuck on, and B, it injects you with something.
This is like baby's first cyberware, basically, because it is technology that is interacting with human biology. But the only real interaction is like hundreds of microdermal nano hair needles on the interior. Basically, some of them draw blood, mix regalia into it, and then reinfuse that blood into the body to give the desired effect. You can see that there is a sliding scale for how quickly the dose is released for like dose control if you were using it as a party drug, but you can see just based on the physical wear on this device that it hasn't been set off max dose for a long time.
This wasn't made for you.
No, this was required after I met other people like me that couldn't control their power.
It would be better inside, less likely to damage.
No, I don't plan on using it forever. It is currently it's a crutch that I need to not break our ship when we're flying through space.
At that, you can see Jin is absolutely confused. You've got access to technology that gives you an ability that, as far as he's concerned, is effectively indistinguishable from magic. Helps you control and regulate yourself better, and you don't plan on using it? So he just sort of interesting.
I look at him and you're probably looking quite quizzical.
Yeah, if you could pick it up as quizzical, yeah, it would be quizzical.
He's 4 eyes and all of his mouths are open.
I just sort of look at him and I'm just like, I don't like who it makes me.
I can
When-
sort of understand that.
I'm a doctor. I'm meant to help people. When I activate this, it makes me a bad person.
Oh, it's addictive.
That's one of the problems, yes. It's why I've got to wear it all the time at the moment, because if I don't microdose on this shit, I would, in my sleep, shake anything that I'm sleeping in apart with latent energy.
Unfortunate, but okay. I don't think you can work on any more people now.
Probably not today. I think I'm done. I will need rest.
Jin, you know where there are, like, cots for doctors in here, and Charles would also be familiar with the concept of just, like, in-bed cots for doctors to crash in during, or in between long shifts.
Yeah.
I think I would absolutely not have the capacity to support Charles at all and acknowledge that. So instead, I just drag over one of the wheelable medical carts and put it in front of him to use as a crutch, because I'm not going to attempt to be it.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, he's like, no, I'm fine. And he just sort of, like, uses, like, the table that had all the scalpels on it to sort of lift himself up. And then he just sort of walks slowly but steadily out the door.
It has wheels and it moves.
Okay. Dr. Charles and Jin, you are able to find a place to lay your heads down and rest for the evening after a rather busy afternoon of rushing about and helping people. And now, I'm going to cut back across to the Sokolov house.
Enjoy.
You've been sharing stories and chatting for some time, but now everybody is properly settled down, lying in their cots, managing to scrape together some amount of sleep.
I'm not.
No?
No, I'm standing in front of his map. His notes.
Ah. So you are just So as everybody else has kind of turned in, despite their objections, you're just studying and observing everything that you put together. Roll me navigation.
With my leg, let alone roll shit. That is 4.
4?
5 if I have intelligence.
Yes, indeed you do.
Is that a double 1 for you?
No, it was a 2 and a 1.
No.
He's done a pretty good job putting together this map. So from your experience on this planet, you know where this is. In fact, in your youth, you probably explored a good portion of the planet either on a car or a speeder, things like that, just traveling around. So you think you could get here, but currently you're kind of feeling very emotionally charged, and
Stupid.
none of the notes he's made are properly sinking in, just from how kind of tired you are from the day. And as you're kind of just like staring up at this map, Locky, would you have turned in with everybody else?
I think he would have stayed up for a bit longer, making sure that Katalina was actually doing okay and that she got some sleep first.
Okay.
And probably would have just been sitting there fiddling with his power armor or something, or his rifle.
Okay.
And then waiting till she went to bed before finally going, alright, yep, she's alright, so should be okay.
Okay. So, Catalina, would you have allowed yourself to be put to bed?
Allowed? It's got three or four people who push her into the bed.
I feel like if she didn't willingly go to bed, they would make her just drink till she passed out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the sake of story, I'll let everyone put her to sleep.
Okay. So, as the three Sokolovs sit, purring like kittens, like snoring in unison off on one side of the room, Lucky, you're just like perched on the edge of your cot, like about to finish reassembling your mag rifle. You field stripped and are now reassembling.
Mm-hmm.
And Dimitri, you're just like trying to make sense of these notes he's put together. And Lucky, your compad chirps.
Mm-hmm.
And it chirps again. And again. And again 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 and again.
I mean, after a few trips, he would have immediately mute and respond.
You look down at it. These are all notifications from Tim.
Oh no.
There's dozens of Yakutan ships in the air. And they're all traveling in a rough direction towards the Milan and by extension, Harbona.
Looking at the mapping for him, does it look like they're more aimed towards Harbona or the Milan?
They're taking a path near Thorin 1 and are using its speed and size to slingshot to get to Harbona more quickly. So that's why the pings are going off.
Because they're passing by.
Yes. And the instructions you gave Tim were just, if there's ships coming towards us, and by that, and by that metric, they are.
Yep. He's gonna send a ping for it to everyone's compads.
Mm-hmm.
So that Katalina and Dimitri have a record of it when he runs off. And then he is going to leave and find either go straight to the council area where he saw them go off to before, or find like the nearest hub of security or personnel.
Okay. And that's where we're going to end the session.
I fucking knew it!
God damn it, Rory! You're gonna kill us one day. And I mean, like, with suspense, not with anything else.
If he doesn't, I will. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Goddamn
Gotta get
big
access.
sass.
As long as I get access to planet-sized orbital railguns, I'm happy.
Hey, I don't even own a weapon.
That's true, you don't.
Don't worry, I've got plenty.
Something
I
tells
can't
me that
use them. They're built for human hands.
You
That's
have all
alright,
the
I can fix that.
weapons you need.
something
make
tells me that
modifications.
they
Richard?
either have a tracking thing on Jakob, or there's a traitor in the midst, and they know Jakob's on fucking Harbona.
Well, we did look for a tracking
Why would they
thing.
be sending basically their entire navy?
Because
that
they
could've
just
just
had a
been-
terrorist attack on their planet from Harbona, so they're
It's going to take
retaliating
several
in
terrorist
kind.
attacks.
Yeah.
Correct.
There are all the reasons.
Top marks for Alice on that one.
I wonder what would happen if we were to land mech suit on their ship using the stealth shuttle.
I would have fun with the soldiers.
That is an excellent question. For now, though, we are done. And I will be wishing all of my wonderful players and those watching a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah,
As
we are exhausted.
We shan't be seeing each other again until after Christmas.
Indeed, indeed. Merry Christmas to everyone, or happy
What's
celebrations, or whatever it is that you celebrate. At least have a good holiday season.
Indeed.
And
We get to rate somebody, don't we?
yeah,
Yes.
shit, I don't know who to raid.
Nerds of the West, Polished Cryptid, or the Game Stormers,
271's playing Halo
which are
Infinite.
just chatting. Polished Cryptid's playing Dungeons and Dragons, and Nerds of the West are playing Tormented Souls.
Let's
right.
go where they're playing tabletops.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
And by
It's,
Jimmy,
it's been a while since we raided Polished Cryptid, so we'll give them some love.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
All right, happy holidays, everyone. Love y'all.
Bye-bye!
Thanks for sticking with us. Holy shit, that was an emotional episode.
Mhm.
That's an understatement.
Holy moly, that
Apologize
was
for-
a whole lot of
Holy
curve.
moly, guacamole.
Did everybody have a good time?
Yes.
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 Oh my god, but also stress. So much stress. So much stress.
The depression is real.
Oh my god.
Character bleed is real.
The what?
Yeah, no
Mm.
kidding, the character bleed is real.
Character breed.
Nick, you made me
Not
cry.
yet.
Good. You
The whole thing made me cry a lot. I'm glad that my camera doesn't pick it up very well.
Christian, I'm gonna need you to go and give Nick a hug after that.
Yes, please.
Space Master's orders.
Also, Ro, you better make Alec alive, or at least revivable, because we have to redeem this love story, damn it.
Do we?
Yes. Have
Do
a,
we really?
have a heart. Have a heart for me.
He's a
Depends on
dungeon
how
master,
much-
he doesn't have a heart.
Damn it.
We'll see how it goes, shall we?
I'm just, alright. We'll catch you, so next Sunday is Boxing Day. Unfortunately, it's very unlikely for us to have a game then, so we'll catch you hopefully next Tuesday, question mark, Rory?
Next Tuesday. When is next Tuesday? It's the 28th. That's still part of my holidays, so I will have a whole bunch of time to prep.
Yeah,
dear.
so yeah, most likely we won't be live again until next Tuesday.
I get to design a space battle.
Holy moly, you've been looking
You-
out for those.
You guys have been so passionately avoiding actual space combat. So, Nick, please reread the rules on space combat, as I feel it may be necessary.
I'm on a planet,
Yes, you're on a planet.
and my big ship is not on this planet.
Well, you have.
You will have 24 hours to go get your ship.
Like, my big ship is not on this planet, and the bad guys are between me and the ship.
Oh,
Not yet, but it might be. What?
no, the worst part is we need a fully functioning PIM to make the fucking cruiser work properly.
Yes, you do.
Mother. Hey, guess what else is on that ship? Don't start laughing too quickly.
Mm.
I have a level 5 spike drive on that ship. That I've been researching it, turning it into a weapon.
Uh-huh.
Wonder how many of those cruisers I could take out before they even got to fucking Harbona by just leaving the spike drive in their path and then just.
Hey man, don't tell the DM your plans before we get there.
He's like, I need to look at this. How much damage could be done?
All right, let's raid. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Toodaloo.
See you next Tuesday. Is that what you're saying?
Hey. Careful now.
No.
But we really will hopefully see you next Tuesday. Good night.
No, Charles.